Hello folks, welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, I think we are hitting a very exciting, maybe, I'm not sure, end of the week, or maybe just a preparation for next week. Something I don't know yet, and maybe we will see something today that give us enough information to figure out what we could expect at least for the next 24 hours. I tweeted just, I don't know, 1 hour ago or maybe a half hour, I don't remember anymore, that I have detected big fund activity related to market makers, 11,000 Bitcoins. That's really, we need to check later on when we are checking the chart, because that's a long time ago we have seen such a big volume related to the market maker. And usually when the market maker makes some such big fund activity, fund flows, it means they are sending Bitcoins to centralized exchanges, spot, derivative, and at the same time OTC. And that's something we should care a lot, because in the past it was an extremely bearish signal. At the same time, we have noticed, and thanks to IT Tech for that, that's an analyst on Twitter, just follow him. He is a really good one. He is always making nice findings related, also using on-chain data for that. And he detected these some inflows related to miners to derivative exchanges. And that's a very interesting move, because when should miners send Bitcoins to a derivative exchange? The business case of a miner is really simple. It has cost, fixed cost, hardware, maintenance, and electricity. At the same time, the output, a Bitcoin, have usually just one function for them. It's the output they send to the markets to sell. So they make a gain with mining. That's the main business focus for miners. And in the past they used, and I mean, no doubt it makes sense in a bear market if you are not really expecting big price move, big bullish price move, to use, because that's something they have, a lot of them, Bitcoins as collateral for your futures. If you want to long, if you want to short, it doesn't matter, right? So if we combine this information together, for me, that's a very bearish signal. Why? Well, OTCs or market makers using different channels to dump the price, to distribute. They distributed, it seems, because they were distributing all the time, and now it's time to buy maybe, or to create the next dip. Not saying we are going to halve from here, just saying we are going just down. We still have a CME gap at 19.5. We still have an unretested main POC at 19.2. And someone asked me on Twitter, and I said, hey, if we are going to retest 19.2 and we are getting rejected there, it's a long signal. That means we can go even more higher. Not saying 30, not saying 40, 50, 60, 70, 100K or 1 million. I'm just saying we can do maybe 25. We can even go higher. Yeah, it's crazy to tell and to say that, because the markets are going to have big liquidity problems, but it seems as long as they have still some liquidity, they are ready to use that to make some gains. So let us play their game and let us see what's going to happen. But as mentioned many times, if we are not going to retest 19.2, I will miss everything, because I don't care. I really don't care. So we will see what's going to happen next. In my opinion, it's time to go down, hitting 20K. As mentioned yesterday, they are protecting 20K from 20K, hitting 19.5, close the gap, and then we are just $300 away from our main pop. Go there, retest it, fail, and then go up. That will be, in my opinion, a very solid trade strategy. So, but we will see. However, back to the topic, miners and Bitcoins. If they know that the market is going down, for them, it's almost riskless to use their Bitcoins to create more Bitcoins, because that's what these guys are getting when they are using Bitcoin as collateral in futures. So if they are going to use their Bitcoins to short, for them it's a gain. Usually, if they are not going to do anything because their main business is just to mine Bitcoins, but mining Bitcoins with a relatively, I mean a decline, but a relatively high hash rate, and at the same time a declining or low price is not good for them. So obviously it makes sense to use these Bitcoins to go short and to make more Bitcoins with these Bitcoins as collateral, and then just to sell, because then they can neutralize their loss based on the price. However, we will see what's going to happen next, and we will check first of all the weights ratio. Then I just want to say thank you to all of you. I got all your comments on YouTube and also on Twitter. You have noticed in the past I had deactivated the comments on YouTube because I received a lot of spam. Now I have engaged the comments again. It's more pain for me because I need to check all the comments and just report all the spam. That's really, it's taking time, and I'm a one-person business, at least yet. Something is going to change in 2023. I have announced that many times. The change has a name. It's Phoenicia. More things are going to come. I will announce that. However, so yeah, we will see. Let us check. I will close now the initial comment, and we will go through the on-chain data related to global economy. Everything is as it is. I mean, the Saudis announced that they are ready to make petrol or crude oil business without US dollar. And that's a big problem for the US, because now they depend a lot from Venezuela, while, as mentioned just recently, Venezuela's main ally and crude oil buyer is China. It's not the US, while the US tried different times in the past to create curbs against the current government in Venezuela, sanctions against Venezuela. So they are not the best friends, just to say that in that way. At the same time, yesterday I've tweeted also that foreign investors are unloading very hard Japanese bonds, and that's going to be a huge problem after the Bank of Japan announced they are not going to change their monetary policy, because at the moment Japan is the source of cheap liquidity. So oh, my cat, okay, it's working. Yeah, are you doing well on the tree? Okay, so a lot of stuff is going to happen, and it seems we will see some volatility coming back to the markets. Anyway, some people say the bear market is over. What I'm going to tell you now is the bear market not even have started. And usually you should be shocked right now and say, what? What he's saying? Yeah, I think the worst case is still front of us, and it's going to happen. It will not take a year for that. So, yeah, we will talk about that more in detail in the next few days. I guess next week I will prepare something, but let us close the initial comment right now. Thank you, as mentioned, thank you very much for all your feedback. I will not change Inspor's analysis version. As mentioned, also Phoenicia will change a lot. You will get much more information and less time, and we will bring different information together: global economy, geopolitics, monetary policy, Wall Street market, so equities, also commodities and crypto, while our scope is always going to be crypto, because we are crypto. And that's something that many people out there forget. Crypto is not a brand. Crypto is not a company. Crypto doesn't own anyone out there. Crypto is the community. We are crypto, and we have to defend and protect crypto against a lot of toxic, greedy criminals out there, and we still have a lot of them in our list. So let us go and go to the next chapter. Let us take a look what the market wants to do. So let us see what the Wales ratio one-day time frame is doing. As you see, it's crazy. The last time we can see we had this peak here, another one here, but it was obviously declining, and then it declined hard. While the price was going up, and then it started to decline, then a little fake rally, went more down, went up a little bit, and then even more down. Right now what's happening? It's the same. Well, yes, we are declining, but as you can see, it's taking time, much more than I expected, to be honest. But we are almost doing exactly the same like last time. So my expectations here is the whole thing here should be done, and obviously we should go down. So the Wales ratio 30 days moving average should go down very quick, but this time, to be honest, we went up to 73, afterwards to 66, to 63, another time to 57, and while we are maintaining a buffer 53. So yes, I would expect to go down a little bit, and then we need to see if they are really that bearish. I mean, 27% from our bottom here. Related to the Wales ratio 30 days moving average, I have to say it should be even bigger than last time. But I also said, lower the price, more volume, more bitcoins you need to dump the price lower. Now that's something absolutely obvious. So we will see how far they want to bring it. I think I need to not hide, but visual order, no, okay, doesn't matter. Let us go forward. Let us take a look what the Wales ratio 30 hours moving average is doing instead. First of all, what we can see, and maybe let us talk first of all about or related to the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges. Over September and October, that was our level. Afterwards we went up, and now we are declining. It went up a little bit, but it's declining once again, and we are even on a lower level than just in September and October. And that was low. So also here indicating that unfortunately they are taking out more stable coins from centralized exchanges. Even here it seems they were buying the dip, and that would also explain what they did here. I had a theory about Binance and so on and so forth. It's really difficult to prove everything, but it seems that Binance needs a price on BNB above of 220. And if we check, for example, let me check. If we check, for example, the chart of BNB and the chart of Bitcoin, because that's what we are seeing, it's almost a copy of it. It's almost a copy of it. So it seems they are using the same algos. I mean, look that. It's the same candles, almost the same candles. And we are talking here about BNB USDT and BTC BUSDT as well. And they are doing almost exactly the same. What does that mean and why does it matter? Well, if you want a price above of 220, then you push the Bitcoin price as well, because you know that will push your BNB price as well. How is it possible that they correlate that way? Algorithm, a purely algorithm driven asset. That's what they are doing. So yeah, in case of, that means that they will push or maintain the price of BNB above of 220 if they can do it. The thing is why I think that Binance has limited liquidity is the unbaked BUSD based on BSC. I have talked about that. I'm not going to talk about that now in detail because I have tweeted about that, but that could give us a sign that Binance isn't that liquid like many are expecting, because otherwise they need to explain me why they just minted BUSD, partly unbaked with BUSD provided by Paxos. I would say just because they didn't have the money. But once again, it's just a theory. They just confirmed that they happened in several periods of times. They didn't say why it happened. That's the only thing. So a lot of stuff for speculation. If we take a look to the 30 hours moving average, the weights ratio, what we see is we are at the moment yet from here at least in a downward trend, indicating that, that they are not sending that huge Bitcoins at the moment since January 5th. And that makes sense because the price went up. You remember when I said, hey, whales are allowing this price action, and it seems they want to break up to the upside. If they are going to 90, it's time to run. It's really time to run, because usually then the price started to get sell pressure, and they did a very, very long preparation. So if they started to unload, and with all this volume we received by miners and market makers, I would be extremely careful here. Doesn't mean we can go up a little bit more, just so retest our resistance at 21,500, 21,400. Even we have a big gamma wall at 20. Well, no, it's not a big one. Sorry, it's not a big one. It's not a huge one, but we have right now a gamma wall at 21,250. It's not a big one. It could attract the price, but it's not required. At the same time, we have another gamma wall at 20,750. And that makes sense because we bounced there twice. So usually we should go up to 21,250, and then we need to see what's going to happen. So we need to see if the weights ratio 30 hours time, 30 hours time frame is going to go up to break this trend here and hitting 90, because that would confirm that something big is going to happen very soon. And when I'm saying very soon, means a matter of hours. So if we check the flow activity, the first thing we can see here is if we disable Bitcoins, we can see that, for example, here we received 290 millions in stablecoins, but we had an outflow of 320. If we check the net flow, we will see it on a better, let me check. Wow. Can I see that is 0, please? Can I? It seems not. All that 0 is here. Okay. So now it's better. Yeah. So if we take a look right now, we can see that since yesterday, where we had here, for example, 280 millions inflows in stablecoins, after the price declined, and we can see here we had 200 millions in outflows, and afterwards another 68 millions, indicating if we sum both, it's even bigger than this one, also indicating they were just absorbing this little dip to go more up. And we had a lot of outflows. Many people are saying, but Inspo, why we did receive that outflows now? Well, they both all the way up, and they are maintaining, and when they are done, when the operation is completed, they are taking out all these Bitcoins. And that's what happened. And of course, it was big. At the same time, we are not receiving more stablecoins to spot exchanges. But of course, they can happen very quick. We need to track them, very frequently. What we can see in the last hours, for example, we receive here 1,700, another 300 Bitcoins, another 370 Bitcoins. So it's still reduced, while we are not receiving liquidity to absorb them yet. And that's something we need to see. At the same time, we can see here that the outflows have declined a lot, while we are getting more inflows. So for example, 1,700 Bitcoins, it seems they didn't unload them yet. Something, it should happen soon. Let us go forward. So related to futures, first of all, what we see is that the funding rate right now is declining. And why it matters? Because it's not that big, but it matters because we received a lot of Bitcoins related to derivative exchanges. If we take a look, we can see we are talking about 7,132 Bitcoins. And just an hour later, another 4,090. We are talking about more than 11,000 Bitcoins. We are talking about, wow, 13,000 Bitcoins. Almost 14,000 Bitcoins since or within 4 hours. That's big. And that is really big. And you remember, we received also here 11,000 or 10,000 Bitcoins, for example, here when we reached almost our top at 21K. So afterwards we had some cashed out, for example here 3,000, then here another 5,000, and that was on the top, that was almost at 20,400. So it seems that they took profit, closed their long positions with Bitcoin collateral. And we need to see, I mean, right now, while, for example, here the funding rate is declining, while the price is lifting up and receiving such an amount of Bitcoins where also miners are included, I would be careful. Open interest, lifting up, leverage ratio lifting up, but open interest even more, while the funding rate is declining, indicating someone is demanding more shorts. At the same time, stablecoins to derivative exchanges, nothing big happening. I mean, yesterday night we received almost 440 millions. I would say it wasn't that bad yesterday. 200, 150, 270, almost 1 billion here. It's not that bad. And that was, it seems, too short. Even the funding rate was going up. So let us take a look to the next one. Now, what happened yesterday? So yesterday, with our very, very volatile 2 hours we had yesterday, I mean, the last candle went down to 20,300 and then we went up back almost to 21k. So usually I would expect, okay, they liquidated a lot of shorts, late high leverage shorts. No. Once again, wrong. They liquidated 2,150 bitcoins and longs and relatively low 1,150 bitcoins in shorts, indicating maybe we have more shorts in the market, but it seems much more high leverage longs. And that's something, if they really start to dump the market, I think they will liquidate a lot of longs, much more than they liquidated in shorts. So the aggregated open interest indicating it went up, it's declining, leverage ratio declined, it's still in a downward trend, indicating gamblers are just exiting, and the funding rate is declining since we reached our top here at 20,000. And since then, the aggregated one is indicating they are demanding more shorts at the moment. If we take a look to Binance, it's also here indicating, let us just zoom out a little bit. Come on. Yeah, now it's better. So the funding rate since January 15th is neutral. It's absolutely neutral. Like nobody is doing anything. Only open interest went up. Yesterday they liquidated almost 3,000 bitcoins and positions, a little bit more. So the open interest declined. It's recovering, and leverage ratio as well. So nothing big to see here. Now we will take a look to the blockchain whispers, and we can see that we are getting more longs at the moment. However, also shorts are coming in, still reduced a little bit, it seems. So we are reaching right now a long short ratio of 45 to 55, and on Ethereum 48 to 52. Also here indicating on Ethereum, I don't know why that happens, but looks healthier. At the same time, on shorts on Bitfinex, you can see nothing has changed. I mean, the long short ratio is there always extremely high. If we take a look now to the Kingfisher, we will use the all leverage, and we can see that it seems we have at 20,260. So from 20, yeah. So if we go to 21,250, we will liquidate some late shorts, it seems. That's what I can see here. Otherwise, we doesn't have anything here, and then the market has to decide if it wants to go up, hitting almost 29k, to liquidate, for example, here all these 150 millions, or liquidate this here 99 millions. Even then we need a price of 21.6, or we go down back to 17k. 17k is where they loaded a lot of dips, where we would have the biggest liquidation cluster and the Kingfisher liquidation map, where we are talking about 150 millions in potentially liquidations, and even $13, $40 gap, another 130 million. So if it's just to liquidate, we need to go down back to 17K. But even then, it's going to be a process that will take time, as usual. Now let us take a look what the high leverage positions are doing, because it seems that it will be part of the of the shorts, and that means we will make, even it's just $300, $400, go up, liquidate them, and then go down. So be careful. That's what I said. Don't use high leverage. Oh no, that's, sorry, high leverage. And yes, so everything we need to go up to 21,140, and that's it. That's absolutely it. We have high leverage longs at 20,600 just to liquidate them, but it's not big, so just up, liquidate them, then down. Just to say it. We are done here. Let us go forward. So what we see right now, that's a new chart. We have here the BTC USDT on Binance, what the CBD, spot CBD is doing, and you can see it was distributing all the time, maintained here, and it's supporting just a little bit now the price action. We have the BUSD, so I can show you here, so only enable BUSD pairs on Poloniex and Binance. Poloniex, ignore it because it doesn't have a lot of volume. And the USD, so those who are using directly fiat US dollars with BTC, Bitfinex, Bitstamp, Bittrex, Coinbase, Gemini, and Kraken. So all of them are here. We can see that also these guys here are buying not that bad. We are not talking about huge amounts, but if we compare that, for example, with BUSD at the moment and USDT, they started here to push up the price. Why the price did this? Yeah, I would say also here we have a double bottom or something. They are using all the time double bottoms because the main double bottom is here. So expecting, hey, it's a signal to buy right now, and so they did it when the price started to decline, pushed up a little bit, declined more, and they started to buy with USD. We are not talking about huge amounts, but it's something we are seeing right now here. While, once again, stablecoin futures are pushing up and Bitcoin collateral futures as well. So they started to buy more shorts here, then more longs, more shorts, and right now more longs, and that's why it's going up. So let us go and take a look. That's the aggregated one. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Oh, I need to enable all of them now. So now we can see the 30 minutes time frame, what they are doing. So if we check that, and that's where I said we can see here such kind, once again, a double bottom, where usually many TA analysts would say, okay, up only. I would be careful with up only because we know a lot of things depends on SPY, SPX because of the algorithm. But we can see is that USDT, it seems, and also the aggregated is supporting a little bit the trend of futures, but futures are here using or driving the market, the price right now with support of spot, as we know. So yeah, sorry, I was just a little bit off. So as just mentioned, BTC USDT on Binance on the 30 minutes time frame, indicating that algos are still distributing, aggregated, lifting up a little bit, but nothing. So they are just supporting once again their future trades, and at the moment it looks like they want a little bit more to push up, but at the moment it's stocking here at 20,900. So we will see. Let us go forward. Oh, I need to refresh here. So how does it look like related to Bitfinex? Bitfinex pushing up a little bit, but almost nothing, really nothing. And we are talking about the 30 minutes. They distributed, but also nothing big, to be honest. So they distributed, then supported the way up and distributed even more. So while also here you can see stablecoin related futures maintaining the price, and that's something where, you know, it matches very well to what I would expect, is that these guys would start to short with bitcoins, and it seems they are doing it. So now Kraken here pushed up, not bad. That was really big, to be honest. So unusual for Kraken, to be honest. While the aggregated CBD is still lifting up. Let me check. That doesn't look similar, I guess, because I still have, no, I have everything here. What is happening here? Oh, I see. I think that's a problem I created. Okay, so we can see here what they are doing at the moment. So they unload, algos unload in the recent dump yesterday was really big. I mean, from 14 to 5, so almost 10,000 bitcoins. Not bad at all. So if we check this one, let me see, can I save this one? Okay, great. Because if I refresh, then the aggregated should be here, right? Yeah, now the aggregated is here. So they did the opposite. They bought the dip on Kraken. Wasn't that bad, so almost 1,000 bitcoins. Unusual for Kraken to make such a deal. So I need to refresh here now, unfortunately, all charts here. So if we take a look, for example, what Bitget is doing, and it seems that Bitget on the other side is distributing. And I have to say that's extremely optimize your profit, because they pushed up from here when the price, if I would check this chart as a noob, I would say Bitget is the main driver here, because they did everything well. They started to buy big before the price went up, even more than here. Then they pushed, distributed, pushed even more, and they started to distribute a lot. So all these algos related to Bitget are doing a great job, to be honest. On the other side, Coinbase is doing exactly what the aggregated is doing at the moment. So they unload almost yesterday their algos 2,200 bitcoins. And right now it seems they want to push up a little bit, but it looks like a little bit like a dead cat bounce, in my opinion. If we take a look here, that's Bitstamp up only, even it looks like they want to start to distribute, but they pushed up a little bit and maintaining, nothing big, and you can see how much green. So all the algos connected to Bitstamp are extremely bullish. While on Gemini, if we take a look to Gemini, they started, in my opinion, to distribute a little bit too early, and they bought back then at the top of the price and are right now distributing, pushed up a little bit more, and will distribute, I guess, even more. But that's what we can see here, and that's absolutely it. If we take a look now to the entities, miners reducing their balances. Here, reduced, now increasing a little bit. These guys here reduced, increasing a little bit. These guys here declining. Market makers lifted up and declined. Well, usually you could say, but wait, they are lifting up, so Are they accumulating? No. I did a little analysis today because I was wondering about, and then I have detected where all these Bitcoins are coming. First of all, part of them are coming from these entities here, and also from these entities, indicating that these entities are buying more Bitcoins and converting to market maker entities. But every else entity is reducing their balances. You can check that, for example, on a very easy way on bitinfocharts.com. You will find there your Bitcoin distribution table and also addresses richer than. And what I do is I make backups. I make a screenshot. For example, Monday I had a screenshot, and then I compare that with the current screenshot. And if I do that, it looks really interesting because then we can see what they are doing. And if I check that, we can see, for example, that if we had on entities with 10 to 100k Bitcoins, 108 wallets involved Monday, today it's 107, means one entity reduced the balances so that they converted market maker. While on the other side, we had 100 to 1000 Bitcoins entity, we had 14,164 wallets involved Monday, and now we have 14,099, indicating 65 wallets disappeared. But the market maker just received 5 wallets since Monday. That's indicating that just 5 wallets, 4 of 100 to 1000 Bitcoins converted to market maker, and the 10,000 to 100,000 Bitcoins entity converted to market maker. Everything else is red. They are declining. They are reducing wallets. So almost every entity since Monday is reducing the counts of wallets related to their entity. Only the market maker has received 5 more. And with this 5 more, if the market maker entity had 4,590,000 Bitcoins Monday, today they have 4,619,000. So 30,000 Bitcoins we received by one wallet related to the entity 10 to 100k and 4 wallets related to entity 100 to 1000 Bitcoins. That's it. That's the whole secret. So they are still not buying. They are still maintaining, and that's really crazy, to be honest. That's really, really crazy. So just my explanation, in case you're wondering why the market maker is receiving more and more Bitcoins, someone could expect that these guys are accumulating. No, they are not accumulating, not yet at least. So let us take a look what the fund flows are doing here. If something changed, for example, takes a little bit, and that's it. So 6,315 Bitcoins here related to market maker. Afterwards 4,787 Bitcoins, and then null. Afterwards another 50 and 160 Bitcoins. So nothing. At the moment, I don't see that they are unloading it, so we need a little bit more patience. But it seems that on SPX, SPY, the whole thing changed. So once again, it looks extremely bearish there on equities, and earnings are coming. And many companies are just showing a little red flag indicating that the earnings doesn't look that great. So if that's the case, equities will go down. Maybe sharper than many of us expect, because we are still in a downward trend on SPX. I will show you later on in my personal conclusion, and you will see that 4,000 was the expected retest. We failed, and now it's going down. Even Bitcoin looks really strong compared to SPX and SPY. It's a matter of time, because those who are absorbing all what SPY, SPX algos related to Bitcoin are unloading. I mean, you don't have unlimited money while the monetary policy is just sucking more capital from the markets, where you have to prioritize where you invest your money next. So we will see how far they want to go. If we go forward, we can see that all these Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges, you remember, they went up after they started to take to outflow. It reduced a lot. It pushed up a little bit more just because of the market maker. Only here, derivative exchanges, you can see they have a problem with stablecoins, less stablecoins on their reserves, but more Bitcoins, because of course they send Bitcoins, as mentioned today, 7,000 Bitcoins to derivative exchanges. The market is declining more. The market activity not on that pace like in the past, but it's declining more. So the zero fee promo related to spot is not working. If the whole idea behind was really just to attract retailers back on the table, it's not happening. Even the future market is declining in activity even more. And that's not good at all. Absolutely not. If we take a look, while the price is going up, OTC and centralized exchanges are playing together. Something really unusual. But as soon as you see that network activity is going up with the centralized exchanges, careful, because they know centralized exchanges are pushing up. Beautiful to sell. Also here, not good looking at the moment. And at the same time, miners sending more Bitcoins to centralized exchanges. At the moment, 4,349 Bitcoins until now. Not that bad as well. So let us go forward and check, and that's it. Let us go forward. That was a 60 minutes chapter. Jesus. So let us see. We are zooming out a little bit. We can see that algos are absorbing. They are protecting the current price. So as you see, these orders here, while market traders are right now selling, these guys are absorbing to protect the potential price dump or whatever they are expecting. But also here at 20k protecting it, also between 19.5 and 94, and finally in 19k, while at the same time at 23k waiting and a little wall at 22k. So nothing big to see here, at least related to Coinbase. We have more liquidity to the downside than sell orders to the upside. Let us go to Bitstamp. So we are going to check spot first. Related to Bitstamp, we can see that also here they are protecting 19.4 and even 20k. Nothing big to the upside at 25, but nothing to see here right now. Also doing the same like Coinbase. Binance BTC USDT. BTC USDT, for example, also interesting. They are protecting hard at 21.4. Some people could say, well, that's maybe spoofing. Of course, but if we are always talking about spoofing, then I don't need to use Trading Light anymore, because always it's possible to be spoofing. Yes, we have a zero fee promo for spot, and of course it's for free, the whole thing. If you want to make orders, I mean, maybe that's also part of the game, right? But it is what it is. While at the same time, Binance is protecting 20,100 with a buy order of 1,200 Bitcoins right now. And We have almost here 800 bitcoins at 21,400 and 500 bitcoins at 22k. While, as you can see, they are reducing it. So pushing, or at least if that's spoofing, they are pushing the price more down at the moment. So if we go and check, we see that everything once again between 19.5, 19.8 and 20k is at the moment well protected. Now BTC BUSD, and finally they are doing exactly almost the same. So they are protecting at 21k. They have here some sell orders at 21.2 and 21.5 also protected. But also here, the biggest here is with 300 bitcoins at 20k, 19.9, 20k, and we have a little sandwich here between 19.7 and 19.5, also here between 19.2 and 19. At 19.2, almost at 19.2 is where we have our main POC, so it would make extremely sense to go down here to retest, and then we need to see how far they want to go. But as you see, they reinforced all these parts here. Bitfinex spot also waiting at 19, 18, 17.3, 15.8 and so on and so forth. At the same time 23 and so on and so forth. So nothing changed here. OKEX spot, nothing. OKEX swap, still waiting at 17k. And these guys were really accurate. I don't know who is using this OKEX swap, but last time they triggered the order at 16.6. Then they triggered the order at 20k, where I said that's almost impossible, but they did it, and now they are waiting at 17k. Kraken spot. What is Kraken spot doing? We have at 19.5 once again, so they are protecting 19.5 like, you know, it seems that should be the next big station, 19.5, but before we need to see. However, 22, 22.5, then we have 20k and 19.5, and finally 18.6. Bybit BTC USD, nothing, they are distributing, and Bybit BTC USDT, not doing anything, distributing a bit but nothing big. BitMEX BTC USD, they are still protecting here at 22.3 and even 23.4, but also here nothing big happened. Also waiting here around 20k, but you know, because they are expecting a bounce or something. 15.5, 14, they are still waiting there in lower ranges, and also here between 23.5 and 23.8. Now, futures. Binance BTC USDT. They are waiting to short between 22.5 and 25. At the same time, they are waiting to long at 22.70 and 19.7 and 19.4, between 19.4 and 19.5. But at the moment, they are also here, if you check that, between 20,400 and 21,300, we have almost 10,000 bitcoins to short between 20,900 and 21,300, and only 7,000 bitcoins to long between 20,800 and 20,400. Also here indicating that shorters are in control back, because that's what they do. When you see that, it's usually they trigger all the short orders, go down, and then they trigger some long orders and go up, and that's what they are doing. Bitfinex derivatives waiting to long at 18.8, and that's it. I don't see anything else here. Kraken futures 18.5 once again, nothing big. No. OKEX futures waiting at 19.2. Also here 20, 23, and also here 21.3 to short. Deribit, wow, Deribit is more on the long side, it seems. Yeah. They are really much more on the long side than on the short side. So the opposite of Binance on Deribit. They even, you can see between 18.8. Wow, maybe we should go up a little bit more, and then we can see they want to long at 20,100 and 19.6, and also waiting at 18.8. But this one is relatively new and expecting they want to long at 19.6. If you are expecting a retest at 19.2, why not to long at 19.6? Yeah, but we will see. And that's it from here. Absolutely. What we can see is BNB USDT. And on BNB USDT, I would like to see what they are doing. I wasn't checking it. So what they are protecting here. So here is the magic 220. And they are at 250. 270, 277, and 280. So they are protecting that area a lot. And 170, it seems, yeah, that's a big buy order in case it will go down. At least related to BNB, if I check, that looks like a double top, and usually it should go down. But as we know, they are using the same algos like BTC. So in case of, it should go down straight, hitting 200, and that could be a problem for Binance in case of. So we will see. However, we are done here, and let us take a look to my personal conclusion.